Should the Big Five still be given automatic qualification to the grand final? That's today's question on Matt Loves Eurovision. Please do click on the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, or if this is your first time on the channel. Also, click on that notification bell and do please like, share and comment. So I'm just going to tackle a little question that often comes up around the Big Five at Eurovision. Now, just for those of you who may not realise who the Big Five are, we will just reiterate again who they are. So they are the United Kingdom, Spain, France, Germany and Italy. Now, these five countries always are represented in the grand final. They have an automatic qualification to the grand final. They don't need to go through the semi-finals. This is a rule that has its origins back in the late 90s. So as the contest expanded in the mid-90s, there were too many countries to fit into the grand final, and so the EBU went through various iterations of how do you decide who gets to the final. They went through things like the qualifications and relegations and all sorts of things. Now, in 1996, all countries had to pre-qualify, and the result of that meant that Germany did not qualify for the grand final. In 1997, in 1998, Germany would also have missed the grand final for having an overall too low average, because again, the way that they did that was kind of if you had the lowest averages over the previous 5 years, and they only got in because Italy happened to withdraw. So by the time we got to around 2000, a new rule came in. That meant that at the time the Big Four, because Italy had dropped out, so France, Germany, Spain and the UK would always have a place in the grand final, or always have a place in the final. And that rule has continued through all the different iterations of qualification, that those four and then five, when Italy rejoined in 2011, they always have a place. Now, some people are not always so happy about this, and particularly because the Big Five haven't necessarily had the best set of results, particularly in the 2000s. They were often in the bottom sort of four, or since 2003. One of the Big Five has been last on 9 of those occasions. So the UK has finished last 4 times, and that's actually all of the times that the UK has finished last. It never finished last before then. Germany finished last 3 times, and then France and Spain have finished last once apiece. Italy has never finished last in this period. Turkey was withdrawn from Eurovision. One of the reasons it cites is that the Big Five qualification. You'll see in my video about why isn't Turkey in Eurovision anymore, that I'm not particularly convinced that actually that is the real argument behind that. Is actually a genuine argument. But it is a fact that the Big Five have not had as great results as you perhaps might expect. On the other hand, Germany won in 2010. And also Italy's results have been nothing other than stellar. They have consistently finished in high rankings, often very high rankings. They've been runner-up, they've been in 3rd place, they've been in the top 5, they've been in the top 10. They've very rarely done poorly since they returned to the contest in 2011. So I think it's slightly unfair to say, oh, no, the Big Five are not any good. And I certainly don't think that they don't deserve their place in the grand final. But it comes down to economics and kind of just a reality and pragmatism about why those countries remain in the grand final. Simply put, they bankroll the contest. They pay 5 to 6 times more of the kind of the entry fees than the other countries do. So they effectively subsidise all the other countries. And if they weren't there, the other countries would have to pay at least twice more than they do at the moment. And I think that would probably render it financially unviable for a vast swathe of countries. So the Big Five are the reason why the contest often continues. They also happen to have the biggest audiences as well. They're some of the, with the UK and Germany in particular, get the largest audiences. They've access to the most media. Also, they have the biggest fan bases. Again, in the UK is the largest of the fan clubs. Germany has got a lot of fans as well, as does Spain, well known for having very passionate fans, and come to a lot of the events. So I think, while I can understand why some people feel there's a bit of a gripe against them, particularly when, probably normally UK, Germany or Spain more than the other two, kind of throw in something that feels rather mediocre and just is sort of making up the numbers. But I think what the Big Five bring an awful lot more to the contest than that, and also they keep the contest running as well. So I can't really see that rule changing, and I personally think the rule is fine. I mean, you might say that I would say that since I'm from the UK, but generally I think it is a good thing for the contest, and I think there are a lot of spaces left in the grand final for all the other countries as well. So I don't think it's I think the Big Five have generally tried quite hard in recent years. It's just that sometimes they have to try just a bit harder to do well. Anyway, do let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll be back again very soon.